you went from the pod, the guitar effects unit, and the Spider amp to the Variax guitar, having the guitar as the source of the effects. And I see on YouTube now the Ariax. We've just come down to the fingers.
Yeah, that was our little attempt at humor. That was our April Fool's product launch. We try to keep our sense of humor about what we do. So it was good fun to imagine taking modeling.
Seriously, what do you see as the next step? The end game.
Fortunately, I just don't even imagine there being an end game. There's so much more we still can do. I think the common thread of what we try to do is really just have tools that really enable musicians to be creative and explore their musicianship. So there's ways I imagine things evolving much beyond what we have today. It's a little unimaginable, but if you think, it's easy for people to, whatever is normal today is just kind of what we are all accustomed to. We have to recognize it actually wasn't that long ago that an electric guitar didn't even exist, right? That was not normal before, less than 100 years ago. There weren't acoustic guitars, they were just guitars. They just all happened to be acoustic. An electric guitar ushered in a whole new world of music and everything that evolved from that, all the guitar amps and effects and so on. So you just imagine we can't ever be done. What's going to be next? Where might it go that the guitarist might find all new ways of expressing themselves beyond what they can do today? That'd be exciting to explore.
Yeah. You and your team are incredibly smart guys to be able to create these products.
Thank you.
How difficult is it then to, for lack of a better phrase, dumb them down so that they're user-friendly? Is that a real issue?
So I guess I'd like to clarify how I would phrase it. I do understand the notion of dumbing down, but here's how we look at it. Musicians, being a musician is a creative venture. It's very much a right brain activity. It needs to be unencumbered and be able to abstractly flow through ideas and to express yourself. Technology is a left brain activity primarily, or if you want to be a sound engineer, if you want to tweak things and so on, you're being left brain, and there are a few people who can be really good at working both at the same time. But rather than say dumb down, I think what we're trying to do is create tools so that you don't have to spend all your time being left brain, and you can get back to focusing on the music. So when we do things like label all the delay effects as green and modulation effects as blue, it's not just to be kind of cute. It actually ends up being something so that in performance, I'm not having to think quite so hard. I need to concentrate on playing, and I see the green foot switch. I know when I hit that one, the delay effect's going to turn on. That's one less thing to be so conscious about. So trying to make products easier, we see as a really crucial part of our job to enable musicians to stay in the creative flow. I know personally there's gear that I almost avoid that is really capable gear, really, but if I'm not living with it every day and I forgot which page is that feature on, where's that function at, it stops becoming inspiring. So that's kind of our view of dumbing down. It's ensuring that we're keeping creativity enabled.
One of the eternal problems for a musician is getting a great acoustic sound on stage. And you address that with the Variax guitar and more recently the Firehawk 1500.
Yes.
Take me through your thinking with those products in relation to acoustic stage sound.
Yeah, acoustic guitar sound live has always been a real dilemma. You could have the very best acoustic guitar in the world, and what you have to do live is a completely different approach than what you would do in the studio to capture that. And there just isn't a practical way to truly recreate what you do in the studio. in the live environment. So we have spent a lot of time to try to solve that problem by doing one approach is the modeling of acoustics. By having the acoustic guitar modeling in Variax, that's become a great solution for many people, because by having the body resonance, the microphone pickup, the microphone positioning, all in the digital domain, all modeled, that can all be realized on a solid body guitar that eliminates the traditional problems of feedback and so on. So that we feel can be a great solution, but we know that's not going to be for everyone. So also solving it in our speakers, in Firehawk 1500 amp, being able to provide some good sounding preamps and body resonance modeling for your instrument, but also having a full range speaker system to reproduce it is another good approach to solving the problem. We even made a Variax acoustic guitar for a while, and for those that did discover it, they loved it a lot. But I don't think it got noticed by quite enough people. So sadly, it's no longer available. But that was another good solution to the problem.
Yeah, obsolescence is a word which comes to hand in technology a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The USB port. How many years does that have left? And is wireless? Will wireless completely take over?
That's a good question. I've heard that one before. I think USB still has several years left, and they've done a good job of carefully evolving that in a way that remains some backwards compatibility compared to where USB started and now where USB 3 is. So I think that will be around for a while. I think for a lot of our everyday life and our computing world, wireless is a huge deal. But the wireless issues that exist for musicians are unique because of the need for there to be extremely low latency. So our wireless technology, that's where we spend a lot of effort, is making sure we're solving things in unique ways for musicians. It doesn't matter if you have tons of bandwidth on a wireless connection for your video or for things like that. If it can't immediately occur from an audio standpoint, it isn't useful for a musician, right? So I think musicians' wireless solutions will always be unique, because I don't think there's another consumer need for the latency to be that low. Probably gaming is the closest comparison, but even then that's not quite as strict as it needs to be for a musician. So for example, our Relay G70 is our fastest wireless. The signal gets converted to analog, goes over the radio waves, reconstructed, goes back from digital, back to analog again. And that entire path from analog signal to analog is less than 1.5 milliseconds, which is, there isn't another system that can achieve that kind of performance. And we're unfortunately not able to take advantage of all the great advances in consumer wireless or computer wireless because they can't function at that speed.
What are you most proud of?
Oh, wow. At the risk of sounding like an old man, I think at this stage of my life, I'm really most proud of what an incredible team we've assembled. It's inspiring every day to be able to come in and work with so many smart people and to brainstorm about ideas, to feel like there is never a shortage of great ideas, only a shortage of resources to see them happen. To be working with so many great people from Yamaha now has been a fantastic new chapter for us as well. So I think that's what I'm most proud of, and what I hope to be able to see really continue to grow, to be able to have such a rich incubation pool. It's exciting to see how that might continue to evolve over the next 20 years.
And the future, I suppose you don't want to give away too many secrets, but is there a particular area that you're exploring?
We're fully committed to advancing the tools for guitarists beyond what anyone is doing. And I hope, that's visible with all the years we put into the development of Helix. And we definitely don't consider our work ever done. So I think you'll see lots more in that area. And beyond that, it's exciting to explore possibilities of how there could be further collaboration with Yamaha in various areas. They've got brilliant technology and brilliant people, and they're just as passionate, even being a much larger company, they're just as passionate about music making and how to really make meaningful tools for musicians as we are. So there's a lot of opportunity for the future. I wish I could say more, but I probably have to leave it at that.
Right, Marcus, Ryle, thank you for your time.
My pleasure.